I guess everybody who's into music, and particularly alternative music and Enemy and that, whatever that thing is, that area of, will always remember where they were when they first heard Nevermind.
Noel Gallagher, former Oasis frontman, along with his brother Liam, has always had good things to say about Nirvana's Kurt Cobain. Noel, who shot to stardom with his band Oasis in 1994 when the band released their debut album Definitely Maybe and their follow-up in 95, What's the Story, Morning Glory, says he always shared an affinity with Cobain.
I always had an affinity with him because he was left-handed and he had blue eyes and he was born in, he's a Gemini like me and he was into the Beatles, and that's what I was, and it was like, fucking hell.
Gallagher focuses on one particular album from Nirvana that he always loved, and that was Nevermind, stating that simply it is one of the best albums of all time, and that when he listens to it, it still sounds like the future of rock.
And if you listen to, Nevermind, it still sounds like the future of rock. Do you know what I mean?
In this 2020 interview, Gallagher states how Cobain was a genius and how he was sad when he died.
Like, he's a pop songwriter, wasn't he? Definitely, Kurt Cobain. There's no.
Yeah, he's big. He's a big John Lennon fan. So, but.
Did you love the Nirvana Unplugged thing, didn't you?
Loved it. Yeah, still do.
Yeah, it's great.
Still do. Yeah, it's brilliant. No, he was a fucking genius. I was sad when he died because I reckon I'd have got on with him.
Yeah,
we were both.
Imagine you and him.
Well, we were both left-handed. We were both blue-eyed. We were both Geminis, I believe. I felt like
big Beatles fans.
I felt like we would have.
67.
Yeah, and I think he was a Definitely Maybe fan. So there you go. But
what? He never heard Definitely Maybe. He was dead.
No, Definitely Maybe was out. Maybe it was Definitely Maybe that pushed him over the edge.
And that last comment there with Noel stating how Kurt loved Definitely Maybe, well, I don't know, Kurt passed away in April of 94, and Definitely Maybe, Oasis's debut, didn't come out to August of 94, so you do the math. And even the debut single from the album, Supersonic, wasn't released until around the 11th of April, so Kurt passed away on the 5th of April, of course, so maybe you heard him, maybe you didn't, but going by those numbers, it is reasonably unlikely. But Noel was definitely a fan of Kurt, you can tell that. Talking there about how they shared, a few things in common, with Noel saying there how he thought the two of them really would have got along, and that would have made a great music collaboration too. I mean, it is well known that Kurt liked such British bands as the Sex Pistols and the Beatles, for example. So if you could imagine a collaboration between Noel Gallagher and Kurt Cobain, I think they would have come up with something really damn awesome. Two great, both musical geniuses in their own right. So no doubt, Noel is a huge Kurt and Nirvana fan. However, he did have one criticism of Kurt Cobain, and that is about the song I Hate Myself and Wanna Die. He has stated in several interviews when he heard about this statement and this song from Cobain, Noel was like, how dare you come out with some kind of a song like that and some kind of a statement like that with all your wealth and popularity, etc. Even though when Kurt Cobain made up the title of that song, it was meant to be like irony, it was meant to be like a joke. But that was the one thing that Noel did call Kurt out on. He wasn't happy with that at all. Didn't want the kids hearing it and stuff like that. Okay, so now we've got like a real did you know moment. So that whole I hate myself and wanna die statement by Cobain actually inspired the song Live Forever, one of Oasis's biggest ever hits.
Did you really write Live Forever as a come back to I hate myself and I want to die?
Yeah.
What? So you read that and you thought?
Yeah. I was a big Nirvana fan, and he had everything I wanted. And he was like, he can hate himself and he wanted to die, and I was like, well, fuck off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Noel actually wrote that song Live Forever in a direct retaliation and in a direct answer to that statement of Cobain's. That's where that song came from, Live Forever. So that is something that I was not actually aware of, so it's kind of a cool piece of trivia there. So we're going to leave it there, guys. That is the Oasis-Nirvana connection. Unfortunately, for the music world, the bands would never meet in this lifetime, but apart from that one blemish there that I just mentioned, Noel Gallagher, definitely a big Kurt Cobain and Nirvana fan, especially loved the album Nevermind.
I guess everybody who's into music, and particularly alternative music and Enemy and that, whatever that thing is, that area of, will always remember where they were when they first heard Nevermind.